Hey collectors, welcome to the workshop. It is now the month of November, and to me, November is kind of this strange month. I think of the Smashing Pumpkins, melancholy and the infinite sadness for some reason. Anything that is kind of a transitional period where strange stories, diverging worlds happen. It's that time between the chaos of October and the hope and beauty of December, those holiday capstones. And as I'm building this channel, I thought, what would be a good opportunity for me to kind of tell you about myself, let you learn more about me, the things that I like to do, the things that I love. And so I decided, let's do a November TBR list. These are the books that I intend to read during the month of November and potentially review, showcase, or elevate at some point on the channel. Now, I used to read a lot of books. Back when I was in college, I was an English major, and I think my senior year I read maybe 120 or 140 books that year alone. Last year, I did much more poorly. I probably only read like 15 or 20 books. But I do love to read. I love to collect hardcovers, signed editions. You'll be seeing some of those here today on the list, some novels that I've had signed on the shelf but never picked up, haven't read yet. And my intention is to use this as a jumping board into reading more again. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let us get started with the first book on my list, a very intimidating book that is Imajica by Clive Barker, the complete epic novel in one volume. So I did actually get started on this one. I'm not quite halfway through, maybe 1/3 of the way. And what I can say is that it's very intriguing. You may be familiar with Clive Barker for Hellbound Heart, or what is better known in cinema as Hellraiser. So he is a master of horror, but this is dark fantasy, epic dark fantasy. It's about divided worlds, forbidden magic, and the nature of reality altogether. People have often described his novels as strange, but also poetic. This is probably one of the best written novels that I've read in a very long time. I mean, thinking of Hellraiser, you might not know that Clive Barker is an immaculate author. I mean, every line in here is very, very well done. So, as it says on the back, this is an epic tale of myth, magic, and forbidden passions. We'll see where this takes us. I will let you know. Now, after something like that, I'm probably going to need a palate cleanser. And so we will be reading Carl's Doomsday Scenario, Book 2 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. That's really hard to say. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Anyway, this is book 2. Fun story about this edition. It is signed, actually. So I was at Comic-Con this summer, and I was browsing through the books in one of the stations over there, and I was looking for a copy of the first book, Dungeon Crawler Carl, but they didn't have any. So I was browsing through and found the second one there, and a voice behind me said, "Hey, if you have any questions about that, I hear that the author is wandering the aisles." And I turn around, and it is Matt Dinneman behind me speaking. And so I had an opportunity to talk to him and get this book signed by him. So this edition is a special edition of the book because it is not actually Carl's Doomsday Scenario. It is Peter's Doomsday Scenario, signed by Matt. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. I enjoyed the first book quite a bit. It's lighthearted, it's lit RPG. Hopefully, this goes bonkers and crazy like the first one did. I know that this is kind of a booktube favorite right now. If you have read this book, leave a comment and let's talk about it. All right. And finally, as far as novels go, I will be taking on a book that has been on my list for a very, very long time. It is a cornerstone, I hear, of magical realism. It's a generational book that follows a family through time, and that is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Now, I have read many, many books, and I have never read Marquez. So this is going to be a first for me. I know that many people love him. He's written quite a few other novels that are also very highly regarded. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out and seeing how it speaks to me, what it is that I connect with the author. It is a Nobel Prize winning book. So something to add to the checklist. Not only that, but also hopefully find something that I can love and cherish. So 100 Years of Solitude, we'll see. Inventive, amusing, magnetic, sad, alive with unforgettable men and women, and with a truth and understanding that strike the soul. 100 Years of Solitude is a masterpiece of the art of fiction. Sold. So those are the novels I'll be tackling in November, but I always add to my list of TBR, manga, and graphic novels. I grew up in Europe, I grew up in France, and in France, it is the graphic novel that is king, not necessarily just comic books, but the bande dessinée. The graphic novel for me is one of the greatest forms of entertainment. It is the storytelling, but it is also the visuals, the artistic flair that accompanies the stories. And so I'm always reading new ones. This month, I have some rereads and also some new reads. So let us get started with the rereads, and those will be volumes 1 and 2 of Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm a huge fan of this science fiction series. It's weird, it's powerful, it talks about the human condition, religion, or more so theology than religion. It takes on questions of individuality and what it means for a single person to have an impact on the world around them. And the artwork in here is just so cool. So Neon Genesis, I'll talk more about this on the channel soon. Next up on the list, Precious Metal by Darcy Van Polgeest and illustrated by Ian Bertram. Now, this is the same duo who brought us Little Bird, which is one of my favorite graphic novels of the last 5 years. I just think that the storytelling and the artwork are so impactful in these books. Like I said, I grew up in Europe, and I cannot stress enough how reminiscent this is of 90s and 80s European style of graphic novels. The sketching, the line art, the framing, the colors are incomparable to anything else that you have read, at least in terms of Little Bird. I have not yet delved into the world of Precious Metal, but if this artwork doesn't tell you enough, here's a quote from Brian K. Vaughan saying that it is a breathtaking work from one of the best creative teams in comics. Currently, high praises by one of the greats. I'm looking forward to this. And finally, to finish things off, Wonder Woman Dead Earth. This is the compilation of Black Label works from DC Comics, following Wonder Woman as the final member of the Justice League, who wakes up in the future to find that the rest of the team is no more and that something terribly wrong has gone on to wipe everything out. And that's pretty much all I know about this, other than that it is also stunning artwork and story by Daniel Warren Johnson. He does all of it himself other than the coloring, which is by Mike Spicer. I also picked this one up at Comic-Con, and it is signed. Look at that. Daniel Warren Johnson signature with a sketch of Diana. Looking forward to this. Before I cut out completely though, I want to thank you all. As of the time of recording this video, the channel did reach 100 subscribers. And to some that might not sound like a lot, but to me it really is. And I know not all of you are my family because I don't have that much family who would subscribe to my channel. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for joining today, for joining the channel, for keeping the conversation going, for collecting. You all are amazing. All right, collectors, that's it for today. Just a quick video to kind of showcase what will be coming in future videos, future reviews. I'm looking forward to this entire stack. If you've read any of these books, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you like what you're seeing here, please recommend other books for me to check out. I'm always up for the conversation. Until then, keep on collecting, and I'll see you next time.